Crab video time! So let's get on to the video. Today we are doing another video on honey crab. So today we are doing a fake Israeli, Saudi Arabian and Iraq war. Okay. So let's start off with the first movement of troops into each nation. The aggressor of Saudi Arabia pushes forward to pushes up to match his northern border. However, Iraq is not afraid, pushes in depth to that northern part and takes the part around Jordan. So they recovered the western flank, keeping only their southern part of the country occupied. So isn't that capital around here? So Saudis, they use a major supply route, but they try and make the way to Baghdad. But the Iraqis are more focused on cutting them off, which they do. The whole entire half of the Saudi Arabian army gets encircled and captured. And with lightning fast speeds, Iraq pushes into the north and into the east, sweeping through Saudi Arabia's weakness of the street. However, Saudi Arabia has enough to conscript troops and push back on the eastern front near Qatar. However, the Iraqs are able to push through the west, which leads to like, I forgot about these two closure of the F1 Jeddah race, I guess, which Saudi Arabia barely keeps onto their capital. But however, with this capital dilemma, they've split like Iraq into west and east and stuff like that. But one country really does not like the scene of that. The United States joins the side of Saudi Arabia so they can get their oil. Freedom bird. Can the US join Saudi Arabia? It takes a couple days, which the Iraqi onslaught on the coast continue. See. The Iraqi onslaught of coasts continue, blocking out any sea helpness. So they get transported into around the airport here. It's heavy. So it's straight in the middle, and the US troops are deployed, and they span out across the whole entire country and just try to slow. But key advantage points for the Iraq's keys hold them off for a minute until one of their friends come. Iran are they their friends? In this scenario, they're friends. Okay. Iran comes to the rescue. However, the US national is the US is able to knock out the whole entire on the west, however not on the east. Still some trap shoulders in some towns. However, Iraq and Iran's forces unite on the Iraqi border and go ever so slightly into northern Saudi Arabia. And the little tiny towns, they slowly expand, including the retaking of Jeddah. Well, boom. These towns which are being occupied are very not in the favour of the Saudis and Americans. So they want to break free. And some in the south near UAE decide, no, we don't want this here. The Saudi Arabian government entirely collapses, but the US is in Saudi and is actually holding like the support. Qatar just gets caught in the crossfire and accidentally conquered until they realise, oh, we're in Qatar. They give Qatar a little bit of land for this inconvenience. So, sorry. Oopsie, they say. So they have to find a new trade route. And Qatar, they've taken the east. However, they still have pockets in the west. So now it's just turned mainly into a guerrilla warfare with little tiny towns joining in, and the capital being entirely in the rebels. It's the rebels' point of view. So, and the towns in the west, they come together as one militia, and they hide out in the deep deserts, I believe it is, and officially Saudi Arabia has been connected the US airfield is still there. However, However, heavy losses in the desert of American tanks and aircraft have led to the near devastation of most American troops. However, America still fights on. America holds a ginormous area around the air base. However, everything. Let me just sort this out first. Everything else is Iraqi. So, US retake Saudi Arabia's capital. However, this is not what the Saudi Arabian people want, do they? So, Saudi Arabia launches up a great uprising and even kicks America out of their aircraft base. So, America decides to withdraw from Saudi. And here's the peace treaty. So let's just blank out all of this. So let's just blank out all of this. Like, get rid of the colours and stuff like that. Okay. In the peace treaty, we get Iraq pushing like that and pushing all the way to Qatar, and so let's just colour in. That's not the right colour, is it? This. So, and also they gain Kuwait for some reason, I don't know. But they gain Kuwait. Kuwait just doesn't want to be conquered. And they have a union. And then we got the Israeli Saudi Arabian revolution, and then got this also. It is a puppet to the red team. So it's owned by the red team. Then you got the Germans, the United States, which is just normally the same. So, thanks for watching this video. Keep on walking on like a crab. See ya in the next video. Hopefully tomorrow.